Hi guys, I'm Faz and welcome to Suburban Enthusiast Retro Vapes. Let's roll! So today's review is on the Velocity RDA. This is a clone, but before you switch off, this is a two fingers up to the creator. When I did purchase this, the authentics were no longer in circulations, so I had to get a clone. So before we have a little dance with this, let's head up close, take a look at it, and we'll come back and I'll tell you my thoughts after 9-10 years. So here we are up close with the Velocity. This is the box. This is all you're going to see because there is a website on there. It's probably not active, but I'm still not showing it because of YouTube policy. You get the Velocity RDA, bag of spares, which has O-rings, grub screws, and a few pre-made coils, and also a 510 drip tip adapter. And as you can see, that is threaded. So let's get on with the measurements. So it's 22 millimeters in diameter. Height without the drip tip is 28.5. With the drip tip, it's 41.3. Nice big wide bore drip tip there. So at the top, it's 14 millimeters, then tapers down to the bottom there at 8.5. So the drip tip is proprietary, only screws on. That's why you get the drip tip adapter to use your 510 drip tips. That's the bottom, copper center pin. It does protrude enough for me to put it on a mech mod, hybrid mech mod. So let's look at the top cap. So the top cap, you've got direct and indirect airflow. So the height of this bit will change as you adjust the airflow. So if you unscrew it there anti-clockwise, as you can see there's a little hole there, so you've got, there we are, little face. So that's your direct airflow and that's your indirect airflow, and that also goes here on the side and at the same at the back. So it's a dual coil RDA, so that adjusts and also comes off. You can take this bit off like that for cleaning, and as you adjust your airflow, whether you want both open at the same time or if you just want the direct airflow, just put it off like that, and then whatever you do on one side will be the same on the other side. And that's the inside. So as you can see, there's a little notch just there on one side of the barrel that corresponds with the deck. It's not conical, but it still gives really good flavour. Closer look. So that's the top cap. So this deck here is what changed it for everybody when this style of deck came out. That's why you will always hear other makers refer to the Velocity style deck. So this is where it started, the dual post design. So we've got some grub screws there, got two holes on each side. You've got one negative milled into the deck, one there which is your positive and has a peak insulator. Juice well is 6 millimeters deep, so plenty of room there for your juice. Double O-rings, so, and that one's coming apart a bit, and that's the deck. So that's it. So like I say, there's a notch there just on the deck there. You can see that sticks out. It doesn't have one on that side. So what that does is correspond with that nub in there. So whenever you set it down like modern RDAs are now, your airflow will always be in front of your coils. So I'll just turn that round and pop that in. And then what it'll do is it'll eventually click in and sit flush. And then you adjust your airflow and it's like that. So that's it like that in chuff style mode. That's it in 510 mode, 510 mode with a drip tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw build on here and I'll be back in a second. So we're back up from the close-ups of the Velocity RDA. I've currently got on here 2 dual fuse Clapton coils, 5 wraps, 3mm ID, and the juice I'm rocking today is Dark Star Nerds. This is an amazing juice. I'm going to have to top up on this soon. So if you quick Google search, you'll find them. Amazing company, customer service is great, and juice variants are brilliant. They do bottle shots, short fill, long fills, samples, and if you're lucky, last Thursday of every month, they drop some labs, some new flavours. So that's what I'm rocking today. So let's take this for a little too. So I've currently got it indirect and direct airflow open. That's over 2. So the vapor is good, and to be honest, I'm not disappointed at all. So that's direct and indirect airflow open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the indirect airflow and just have the direct airflow running. So a big difference in vapor. Obviously it's more condensed, but the flavour has completely jumped up there. So let's go over some key features of this. What I forgot to mention in the close-ups is post holes, the 3mm by 2mm, so you can fit some really monster coils in there. So let's go over some key features with this one. So the thing that I liked about this when it first came out was the deck. Obviously the Velocity style deck, the simplicity of being able to just get some coils on there in no time whatsoever, and it was also newbie friendly as well. So it's got a really deep juice well, about 6mm in depth, so you can just literally dump your juice straight in there with no problems as well. 22mm, so if you're running it on a mech mod like I am on this Mutation X V2 mech mod, it looks nice and flush, and any of your box mods that take a 22mm or larger. So let's have another 2 on this. Seriously not disappointed with the flavour. So the brilliant thing about this RDA when it first came out was simplicity, like I've said, of sticking coils on there. Nice deep juice well on it, a variety of drip tip options, whether you're using the chuff cap or your 510 drip tip adapter, because back then and even now people like the 510 or custom 510 drip tips on there. So for looks and stuff, I think it looks brilliant. It looks like a little face when you've got the direct and indirect airflow open. At this current moment, I've got the indirect open, closed, and the direct open. So you've got sort of like a cyclops airflow there for the direct airflow, and the indirect airflow, you're looking about 2mm holes going all the way around like that. So this is the RDA that changed it for everybody with the Velocity style deck. That's why most places they used to refer to the Velocity style deck because of the 2 posts. As you can see, the top cap was brilliant on it because it had that little tab on there, so it fixed your top cap into place so your airflow was always in front of your coils. So you had no problems when you're adjusting your airflow for your top cap to spin. And probably the most, for me, as a vapor and a builder as well, I think the main thing that I liked about this is when you put your coils in and you tightened your screws down, it did not snap your leads, because on the old RDAs they had a hole underneath, so it didn't matter how much you screwed it, it'd eventually snap. These aren't, they're solid, so when the screw is screwed in, it hits a solid bit of metal. So when you put your coils in and you tighten them down, they never snapped, and that was another good thing for this RDA, and which was more simple for the newbie builder that was just getting into building as well. Looks wise, I think it looks good. I still use it. It still packs a lot of flavour and a lot of punch for a 9 to 10 year old RDA, and it just looks amazing on a mech mod as well. So the, like I say, juice you can just stick straight in there, and the flavour is still amazing so many years later, I still have this in my rotation. So if you're lucky enough to get one of these, it's probably going to be a clone. They're very hard to get hold of, so I can't put anything in the description because of YouTube policy. And that's it. This is just a quick look on this Velocity Style RDA. If this is the sort of content that you like, please consider subscribing and liking and sharing. Comment down below. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're an existing subscriber, thanks for joining me again. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to waffle on too much. It's just a quick look back on this little gem, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon.